To me, Shadow of the Colossus is the epitome of a game that focuses on the emotion and the connection to the player rather than the narrative structure or means thereof. It brings you in a way that I haven't experienced elsewhere, and it's something that truly provides introspection and pain and joy and being able to look into yourself, which is something I value more over any story being told. It provides characters to connect to, but most of it is truly just a loose structure for you to discover things within yourself. But overall, to me, Shadow of the Colossus is an emotional experience. Hello, my name is Patrick Fenn, and today I'll be talking about what Shadow of the Colossus means to me. When I first saw Shadow of the Colossus, I remember the trailers being very vague and almost ethereal to me. Something that I was immediately interested in, but the moment I tried to explain it or tell somebody about this game, it either became across very pretentious and kind of like I was a know-it-all or so much more emotionally deep, or it just made no sense, which is more likely. Because I didn't really know what I was seeing. What I knew was this game was going to have an impact on me. I grew up playing video games. From the Atari to the Nintendo to the N64, I played video games all my life. But at the same time, I never saw them as a path forward. Video games were competition for me, and they were something to do when I didn't feel accepted, or if I just wanted to kill some time. And I would sometimes feel guilty because I didn't feel like I was investing in my life in the way I should have if I was spending that time playing video games. And when I saw Shadow of the Colossus, I saw something different in that than I had seen in any game that I had played or looked at or considered up to that point. I was not familiar with Eco before that, and having gone back and played that, the similarities there are obvious, being the same developer, but it was so hard for me to put Shadow of the Colossus in the context that it needed to be in, because this was a different experience than anything I had ever done. This game steered me towards making video games because this game was personal. It became personal for me, but I knew the moment I saw that trailer, what I couldn't put into words was what I saw in that game was something personal for the creators. This is something cathartic for them, I believe. And that attracted me. That got me just ecstatic about what video games could be, because they didn't just have to be competition or killing time. They could be something more, and that was exciting. At the time when Shadow of the Colossus was released, I was in college, near the end of my tenure there. I was only maybe 1 or 2 semesters away from graduating, but I was focused in an area that I had lost a lot of interest in. I was a philosophy major, and I found myself just not caring about the potential career paths there. I enjoyed thinking that way, and I enjoyed my time in class, but with what had gone in my life up to that point, I was needing to get out, essentially. I was dealing with the death of one of my closest friends and one of my closest cousins, and a couple others in there as well, all separate times or instances. And I was away from a lot of the people that I loved and I cared about, and I was clinging on to college as, I'm here, I've been here for 4 years, I gotta do this. And as I played through this game, sitting in my apartment, really soaking in what it was, I connected with what I perceived the story to be. It's very bare bones and it comes across very personal, but because it's so limited in what it outright speaks to you, to what the words in the game say, it's very moldable to who you are, which I think the best art is. And I'm not going to argue that it is art or isn't art. I don't care. What I do know is that it's impactful to me. And what I took from the game was Wander, the main character. He lost everything trying to save something that was already gone. That's the lesson I've tried to take from that game. I know that I can hold on to things far longer than I should, and if I'm in pursuit of something that I loved and I once found so vital to my life, I can hurt myself by not letting go. And I was doing that at the time. I didn't know what to hold on to. I had lost some people I had cared about the most, and I had lost, I just didn't know where I was headed. And I credit Shadow of the Colossus with helping me accept that resetting, surrounding myself with people I love, and getting back to where I need to be is not giving up, it's moving forward. That doesn't mean I should have gone back and just sat there. What I found from that game, and as I continued to play it moving forward, it stayed with me in everything I did. And when I moved back home, after I dropped out of college, to get back around my friends and family that I loved dearly and I still love dearly, this game made me realize, people make these. Somehow, throughout this point in my life, I always felt that video games were something unachievable by me. Creating something was unachievable. But this game in particular connected with me so effectively and so personally that it made me believe more in myself. So I credit Shadow with putting me on a path towards what I want to do. And I can't be thankful enough for that, as well as helping me deal with some stuff that still hurts me today. Shadow of the Colossus clicked for me when I first came across the first Colossus. I'd seen a lot, and I'd read a lot, and I'd been super excited about this game, but nothing up to that point that I'd seen showed me a scale of a boss like this. Showed me something that so silently and so effectively portrayed emotion, fear, and empathy. And it was amazing to see in that moment. It clicked with me because at that moment is the first time that I realized I was in for something special. And because of that moment, I couldn't put it down. I wanted to see everything this game had to offer, and I don't mean every inch of the map or anything like that. I mean, I wanted to just spend time in it, experiencing what they wanted to show me. And it meant to me that games can be a personal experience. And that excited me. And that got me to realize that this is something that I could do. This is something... somebody makes these. Somebody's out there making games. And I can be part of that.
The favorite thing about Shadow of the Colossus for me is the emotions it helps me work through. The things that it helps me be introspective about. Because if I'm struggling, if I don't understand what's going on, or if I just need a space in my head, it can help me focus in on that while keeping me busy. And that's an incredible gift for anything to provide. I can relate to these characters in any way I see fit while they're also telling me a very specific story. And it's one that I relate to. It's one of loss. It's one of pushing forward to something too far when you should have let it go. It's one that I keep coming back to because it's a lesson that I continue to need to learn. I've probably played through Shadow of the Colossus a minimum of 3 times. I know the first time I played it was an experience. I was dealing with the death of one of my best friends, and it allowed me to escape while also process what I was going through. The second time was literally a Sunday afternoon, sitting down for 8 hours and playing through with 2 of my friends. They sat there and they just watched me play for 8 hours. And it was amazing. It was one of my favorite days I've had. And the third was in this last year when I went through some very personal struggles and I needed something to kind of, help me work through what I was going through. And there's been many other times I've picked up the game, beat a Colossus or done a time trial, and it's still fun, but when it means something and I need it, it's there, and that is invaluable. If I were to sell this to a friend, if I were to tell somebody, hey, you need to play this game, it's pretty simple. Well, actually, I don't know if it is. A lot of people won't get out of this game what I got from it, but I think I'd sell this game as something that sells games. If you're struggling to find a way to manage something, deal with something, there are ways to get help, and you need to search those out and find those. Part of that needs to be people that you care about, but also things that you can sit down and find comfort in that are healthy. And that's what Shadow of the Colossus has been for me. And if I'm selling this game, I'm selling this as something to truly allow yourself to soak in and heal while playing. And that is exciting to me. And that's something I think everyone should try. Whether they can actually end up doing that or not using this game, I think it's worth trying no matter what. And that's what Shadow of the Colossus means to me.